Did y'all see that Nicki Minaj's high school won't let her come back and speak to the students there? I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, we know who Nicki Minaj is at this point. Teenagers are already listening to her. Why not have her come back and say something positive, at least for a second?
You know, she does some questionable things, but I think they're listening to her music anyway. They already know who she is. They already know she graduated from this high school. Right. So I don't know why. And I'm like, what I just wrote about this, the thing about Nicki Minaj is I always hear her talking to kids and she's always like, you know, stay in school, focus on this, stay in school, focus on this. People come to see her, kids come to see her and she's like, why aren't you guys in school today? So she does have a positive message for that age group. Yeah. So I think it is like, I think it was a missed opportunity for them.
Yeah.
And I also feel like Nicki's very relatable. Like, some may argue that she never has anything of substance to say, but at the same time, I feel like when you're a teenager and you have someone coming into your school, you don't necessarily need someone to preach at you. You just want someone to talk with you and kind of like give you the advice that you would like really need, instead of being like, oh wow, like they did this and I have so much further to go than that person. So yeah.
I don't know, I'm not outraged by them telling her not to come, because I don't know. I like Nicki, but I don't know that I would want Nicki speaking to my children, even if they hear her on the radio or see her on TV. That's not. What's she gonna say? I don't want my little girls, if I had children, I don't want that to be who they look up to. I like her as an adult, but as far as my kids, you know,
at 14, 15 though, it's like, sure, yeah, you know what it is.
I'm pretty sure like when you're at a teenage, when you're a teenager, you're going to have like that girl in your friend group who's like the bad girl. You know what I mean? Like,
but the school administrator doesn't have to bring that person to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
whether they want her to come to that school or not, if people look up to Nicki Minaj, they're gonna continue to look up to Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. So did you also see, I guess, there's another sex tape scandal going on. Last week it was like Jill Scott's nudes. Now supposedly Iggy Azalea has a sex tape and she's saying her ex is putting it out for revenge. And it's just like, at this point, is it even worth it to be out here snapping pictures, making videos? For one, I'm like, they're saying she could be underage. What are you doing? I need you to chill on that all the way underage. But just, you know, making tapes, like, not to be like, would y'all do it? But would you? No.
If I knew I was going to be in the entertainment, if I was trying to be in the entertainment industry, or if there was any semblance of a chance that I would be, like, even now, like, we don't do we're not in the industry, but like, if there were anybody ever in life who could ever use that against me, no.
Yeah. You can't trust it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And if I do make it, I keep it.
That's my other thing. I'm like, at least record it on your phone and don't be putting it up in the cloud or whatever people are doing. I'm like, in the cloud. Like, throw it in the cloud. Like, no, you want to keep that on your phone and that's it.
Never. I don't know if this is like what they making it out to be.
Yeah.
I feel like they changed their tune a little too fast for it to be something that she don't have nothing to do with. So if we heard in a couple of weeks or a couple of months that Iggy Azalea is back in Vivid releasing this tape, I would not be surprised.
But why would she need to do that though? She's doing so well.
Like, she's good right now.
But I'm just like, I don't know.
You breaking that story?
Breaking. You heard it here first. I don't know.
That would be a shame.
I feel like they throwing the minor thing in there as like a boomerang. I don't trust these people.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mimi and Nico ruined it for everybody.
That's true.
But I just find it weird how first they were saying it's not her.
Yeah.
And now the next day, oh, it may be her. And she preached a whole sermon on Twitter yesterday about it.
What did she say?
Oh, you know, for you to release a sex tape without someone's consent is awful, and the U.S. needs to become like Europe with the laws and blah blah. Like, Iggy, sit down.
So, did y'all see the complete fallout with Ray Rice, Janae Rice? You know, he's now suspended from the NFL indefinitely. He will not be a Baltimore Raven, lost some endorsements. And, you know, a lot of people have mixed opinions. One of the most prevalent seems to be if his wife could forgive him, everybody else needs to, which I think people are not taking into account that she's an abuse victim. There's so many people that are not just looking at that. She's a victim of something. I don't think many women thinking totally clearly would just say, I'm going to marry my abuser, 3 weeks later.
It's so sad to me that black men are the ones who I see saying, like, black men and black women who are the ones that I see saying, like, you know, we should mind our business, or we should this, or we should that. And this guy for the Washington Post, he was like, you know, when things happen to black men, black women are out in droves supporting us, marching for us, protesting for us, doing all this stuff for us. And now when this black woman is in trouble, nobody cares. It's like, oh, let him play football. What? Like,
exactly. Right.
This woman is big, and not only that, it's bigger than Janae. Like, it's not. This is like domestic violence as a whole.
Exactly.
We don't understand how ugly it is, but to see like it happen like that,
exactly,
it's crazy.
Right. I'm like, and he needs help too. Like, don't support his nonsense.
He
like,
needs
that's
help.
not okay. Right. And I do feel like, I mean, there could be a possibility for rehabilitation.
Right.
You know, maybe he doesn't have to be suspended
forever. Right.
But you need to sit down. Like right
a year
now,
is
both
good.
of y'all together. Yeah, at least.
And maybe that money coming out your pocket will help you.
Exactly. Because I don't know that he's necessarily shown a whole lot of remorse, you know, for that whole situation. And, you know, I said I would hope that he's not taking all this out on her.
On her.
This is a major stressor. Like, you're going to act out, most likely. I don't know.
Or even just blaming her for it.
Exactly. So you can't just be like, oh, that's their business. We get in everybody's business, so don't ignore it now.
Right.
You know, that's crazy.
I feel like that part that you said about the blaming her, I feel like that's heavy in the house right now. And he might not even be saying it right now, but I know that she feels that way. Yeah. She feels like she's to blame for what happened. She's still very much in love with him, and it's obvious from the statement that she released. Like, she's like, this is heavy on her, and you can tell. So out of everything, I feel really bad for her, because as dysfunctional as it is, he shouldn't have hit her, but she probably feels like she's to blame for all of this.
Yeah.
And she knows it.
Right.
And I think the evidence shows when they did that press release, like, she took responsibility for that. And then even with her Instagram statement, she took responsibility for that. And even with her best friend who came on Inside Edition yesterday, it was just like, you know, they kind of like painted it over as though it was just like, oh, you know, we got in a little argument in the movie theater. Like, no, like, this is so much bigger than just having like a little bump in the road in your relationship. And I feel like, especially when you have people surrounding you thinking that as well, it doesn't even help the victim in that situation, because no one's really giving you what you need to find the help that you need with your spouse.
And then it's also, you know, with the whole why I stayed thing, people who just can't like wrap their minds around that. And it's like, if you've never been in that situation, you probably just need
Don't
to be
speak
quiet
on it.
right now. Right, because even if you can't understand it, don't knock people who've been in that situation. You don't know what you would do. And it's not helpful.
Right. Because it's not even just about the physical abuse. It's psychological. Like, they talk about isolation. They talk about, you know, telling you, you're not this, you're not that, you can't do better than this. And then obviously, you know, it's financial.
Exactly, right.
You know it's financial.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then they have a child together.
Exactly.
Like,
In high school.
I mean,
I
that's
just
a lot
saw
of stuff
that.
going on right there. That's a lot of
exactly.
stuff going on.
So did y'all see Apollo? Might be out here, because I don't know. He just like decided, I'm not going to go to jail today. But is it true? He went to a strip club? I saw it was
I
like
did
he
see
spent
he
his
did with
last
this-
hours
yeah,
at a strip club. I don't know. But then all this talk of like, he didn't see his kids, and Phaedra was worried, you know, something was going to happen. I don't know. A lot of people are thinking she's just trying to make him out to be the bad guy. So when she divorces him, it's like, I'm still the Southern Belle. I didn't do anything wrong, kind of thing. But it's not like he's wilding out too.
For
I
real.
mean, he's been wilding out.
Right. You don't have to make him look
Anyway,
like the
so-
bad guy.
Right.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah. I think the problem is everybody believes she knew about all that mess. So it's like, we don't have time for you trying to be prim and proper when you're probably a criminal too.
She was. Y'all know how I feel about that.
I know.
If she wasn't involved, she knew he was doing it all along.
Yeah.
I've said it before.
Because where do you think that money came from? Like,
He's a convicted felon. No one is going to trust him to handle money anymore.
exactly.
But his job is a debt collector.
As he fixes up your house, though. That's all we saw in Real Housewives.
So you knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like she probably was his co-conspirator back in the day. I don't know if she's still involved, but I do feel like she could have been like, Apollo, you know, we're getting older. You know, it's time to leave the foolishness.
We got kids. Like,
And he was still out here. So I could understand her frustration if that's what happened. I mean, we don't know what happened, obviously.
I think he definitely still feels the way too, because now Phaedra is going to even earn more money because her storyline this
Do you
season.
think she's gonna stay on the show?
Absolutely, yes.
That's when when we spoke to I did a phoner with Nene, and she was like, "Let me tell you something. Don't put your money on Phaedra leaving the show."
Oh, okay.
She was like, Nene was saying people want to leave, but that contract,
Dang. How many years they sign at a time?
girl.
That's great.
And I feel like now Phaedra is trying to put the bug in people's ear that maybe their relationship was abusive. Because she was talking about now this whole, I don't know if she's behind it, but I wouldn't be surprised because Radar Online came out with this new report like, now that Apollo's behind bars, Phaedra feels safe to, file for divorce, whereas before she didn't feel safe.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Somebody told TMZ too that he didn't see the kids because the fighting got so bad, like 2 weeks leading up to the, him turning himself in, that she was scared that it was going to get physical. But in that same post, they had a statement from her, like they had spoken to her, and she was just like, my family's trying to work through this. So I feel like that's almost like a cosign on the rest of the story.
Yeah, because if that's not happening, you don't want anybody thinking that.
Right, you would say
that.
no.
Right. And I don't want to not let her be a victim if she is a victim, but it is like, where is this coming from? All these years, not even a word of that. Now all of a sudden,
And everything is very carefully worded.
yeah,
It's very
she's a lawyer. I mean, she knows what to say and what not to say, but she's super suspect.
Our readers were like, I was saying, I feel sorry for Apollo. And our readers were like, just because that's a long time. And if you weren't in it by yourself, I would just be so salty inside. Like,
No, he knew. And his partner was that other random woman,
Yeah.
though. So I'm like,
I still feel sorry for him though. He's gonna miss out a lot with his kids, girl.
things
A
you should have
lot.
thought about before you started making
He's
fraudulent.
gonna miss out. I feel like he's snapped because you supposed to be going to jail and you running around going through your wife's
clowning.
house.
Yeah, clowning.
And then the Bravo cameras were there. This is all for the next season. Like, I'm excited for this season. It's gonna be crazy.
I just want to see the episode where Apollo's running through the house. Because I know that was crazy as hell.
Exactly.
I hope his kids didn't see that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the last memory of Daddy.
Yeah, acting a fool.
Girl.